So again, the last time we had our discussion, we stopped with Article 1464, where we talked about fungible goods. This time, let's move on to Article 1465. Okay, Article 1465 tells us that things subject to a resolutory condition may be the object of a contract of sale. So that certain thing that you are going to sell may be subjected to a resolutory condition, and the sale can still be considered as valid. So what do um, what do we mean by resolutory condition? Okay. If you can still recall your oblicon, unsay nasabdan ninyo gani sa resolutory condition as opposed to a suspensive condition?
Attorney, good afternoon.
Yeah,
Resolutory condition is that when it causes an obligation to end once a specific event occurs.
correct. So meaning as long as the condition has not yet existed, no, wala pa siya na fulfill, then the obligation is existing pa. But once the resolutory condition happens, then it terminates the obligation. So let's have an example para mas clear siya sa ato. Example. For failure to pay his debt, the land of S, mortgagor, was sold to B, the highest bidder and purchaser, in an extrajudicial foreclosure of a real estate mortgage. Now, again, this is an example of an involuntary sale. No, again, ha, diri, si S, na ako no siya'y land, na siya yuta. And then, naman siya utang ko no, wa niya nabayaran, and then ang yuta, gihimo man niya as collateral no, through a contract of mortgage. Wa man siya, ni default man siya sa iyang debt. So, the mortgagee foreclosed the property, foreclosed the mortgage, and then later on, it was sold B. B here is the highest bidder, and he is the highest bidder and purchaser in the extrajudicial foreclosure of that real estate mortgage. Now, this is an example of a sale of a property with a resolutory condition. Why? Because although the sale made to B, now being the highest bidder, is valid, it it's the rights of B over such property can be terminated because there is a corresponding resolutory condition. And that resolutory condition is the exercise of the redemption right by the mortgagor. Because under the law, a mortgagor may redeem the property at any time within 1 year. Okay? So, pwede di ay kumbaga, dili na mo take effect ang sale padung kang B. If ever, within 1 year, i-redeem ni S ang property. So that resolutory condition is if S will redeem the property within the redemption period. And that redemption period is this 1 year, now from the date of the registration of the sale. So if within 1 year, S will redeem the property, then the sale made to B is extinguished. So do we all agree that the right to redeem, no, the exercise of the right of redemption is to be considered as a resolutory condition? Because once it happens, it will extinguish the contract of sale. So despite having that resolutory condition, no, that exercise of a right of redemption as a resolutory condition, the sale made to B when the property was sold to B during the extrajudicial foreclosure of the real estate mortgage, that contract of sale is valid bisan na og naa siya'y nakatapot, no, naa siya'y corresponding resolutory condition, which is the exercise of the right of redemption by the mortgagor. So again, if S, so dili man ta sure, di ba, kung mo redeem ba si S sa property within 1 year. And that is why it's called a condition because it may or may not happen. S may redeem the property. S may also not redeem the property. So such that if he redeems, that's the only time that the sale will be extinguished. If S will not redeem within the 1-year redemption period, then the ownership of B over that property sold to him will be completed. Okay? So at that time, kung dili niya i-redeem ang property, then B will be given a writ of possession by the sheriff. Okay, nasabtan ra ba ang Article 1465? So, in short lagi, bahala na kuno og naay condition nga mahitabo ni siya ma-extinguish ang sale, the original contract of sale will still remain valid. Bahalag na siya condition nga ma-extinguish siya in the future. Okay. Article 1466. In construing a contract containing provisions characteristic of both the contract of sale and of the contract of agency to sell, the essential clauses of the whole instrument shall be considered. So here we are talking about two things, two contracts, contract of sale and contract of agency to sell. Okay. If you are looking in construing a contract, meaning sa pagsabot daw nimo, inigbasa daw nimo sa isa ka contract. O niya, kani siya nga contract, naa siya characteristic sa duha, contract of sale o contract of agency to sell, para daw masabtan na to kung unsa ni siya, contract of sale ba gyud ni siya or contract of agency to sell. Tanawon daw na to ang essential clauses of the whole instrument so that we can determine what this contract really is. Is this a contract of sale or a contract of agency to sell? So, what do we mean, DI? Because we already understand what is a contract of sale, right? But we do not know yet unsa man ang contract of agency to sell. So, contract of agency, it says here under Article 1868, by the contract of agency, a person binds himself to render some service or to do something in representation or on behalf of another person with the consent or authority of the latter, meaning pasabot sa latter, authority of this other person. So in other words, kung nag-authorize daw kuno ka og lahi nga tao para mubuhat og something on your behalf, the contract entered into is a contract of agency. And most of the time, this contract of agency will be proven through the existence of an SPA, right? So kung nag-execute ka of special power of attorney authorizing another person to act on your behalf, ang kontrata de ninyo ana is called contract of agency. Now, again, for this article, it talks about the contract of sale as opposed to a contract of agency to sell. If we are asked to distinguish one from the other, so here are our points of distinction. Okay. So as to the receipt of goods, okay, in a contract of sale, ang nakadawat si buyer, no? The buyer receives the goods as the owner. Meaning to say, pagdawat niya ana, the act of the buyer receiving the goods, pasabot ana, gibalhin na ang ownership ana. Pagdawat nimo ana, ikaw na ang tag-iya. If ikaw si buyer, by the time you receive the goods, you will become the owner and you are receiving that good or that thing in the concept of an owner, right? But in a contract of agency to sell, the person who is receiving the property is what we call the agent, right? So we have the agent and the principal. The agent is the person authorized by the principal to act on his behalf. So if nagsugo kuno ka og tao nga, oy, ibaligya ragod ni palihog, pero ako aniha, ikaw lay baligya ani. So when the agent receives the goods from the principal still retains his ownership over the thing being given. Obvious man, di ba? If magsugo ka og tao para ibaligya ang imong property, inigdawat atong pikas nga tao, no, kay imo man ipabaligya niya, inigdawat niya ato, bisan pa og ang possession of the property was transferred to the agent, ang ownership over that certain thing is still retained by the principal. Correct? Nasabtan? Eh, imo raman siya gisugo na. Dahil palihog ra gud baligya ni extra nga cellphone o mao ni siya ibaligya ni siya ha. So dawat
Ka dito ka. Uy. Mo pagkakuan ako.
guys, please mute. Paki-mute, okay? So inigdawat ato niya nga person sa imuhang ipabaligya niya, dili siya mahimong owner, right? Kay agent naman nimo siya. There is no transfer of ownership. So the principal will still retain ownership over those goods. Okay? Next distinction as to payment of price. So the buyer has to pay the price. It is the main obligation of the buyer, right? Buyer to pay price to the seller. However, there is no such obligation of the agent. The agent has no obligation to pay the price, but rather the agent has simply to account for the proceeds of the sale he may make on the principal's behalf. So uh, kung contract of sale si buyer, kailangan mo bayad sa price. Sa contract of agency to sell, si agent, ang kwarta nga naa niya, dili to iyaha. Iya rang gidawat pagbaligya niya sa property, kay sugo man siya sa principal, pagbaligya niya, iya rang gidawat ang selling price. No? Ang bayad ni buyer iya gidawat. O unsay obligation ni agent, kailangan niya i-turn over ang kato siya nga kwarta nga iyang dadawat, iyang i-turn over sa principal. So mo na yung pasabutan ng account for the proceeds of the sale. Sa Bisaya pa, iya rang ilista o iyang i-turn over ngadto sa seller ang iyahang nahalid. Okay? Ang halid sa pagbaligya. Okay? If nagsabot sila nga naa siya commission, then kuhaan to niya og commission. And then ang net amount after deducting the commissions, maora to iyang ihatag na seller. Okay? As to right to return, the buyer as general rule cannot return the object sold. So for example, no, nagbahay ko nga, may pagwa na lang di ko ni palitan ni, di man din ako kinahanglan. Oy, seller, ako na lang ni iuli di ay kay realize ko nga di din ako kinahanglan. Pwede ba na siya? Na change of mind lang ya, yung iuli? No. Yeah, you have no, as a general rule, you have no right to return the object box. And you cannot compel the seller to receive the property again, to receive it back. Ano ka nga, di na lang day ko, back out na lang ko kanang since na-deliver naman sa ako na lang iuli ni mo, then ambit to balik ka akong ibayad. Dili na siya pwede. Okay? However, in a contract of agency to sell, the agent can return the object in case he is unable to sell the same to a third person. So if ikaw, gisubo ka sa imong amiga na ipabaligya ang iyahang cellphone, pero later on, after nimo, sige na nimo post sa Facebook, i-post na nimo sa Facebook Market, no, pero wala siya ipalit. Kay gibatian siguro kay daghan nag-damage, niya mahal kay ang pagkapaligya. So, the agent can return the objects because ownership of that thing was not passed on to the agent. It was retained by the principal, by the seller. So you can return the thing if in case you are unable to sell it. Okay, as to warranty, the seller warrants the thing sold. So later on in the subsequent articles, we will find out na we have this warranty against hidden defects, no, and warranty against eviction. Ato lang na i-discuss later. Pero at this point, it must be clear in our minds that the seller warrants the thing sold. Kumbaga, kung ikaw si seller, na imo na yung ibaligya, moingon good ka nga, kani akong gibaligya, wala siya defects. No? ug kaning akong baligya ako jud ni, so walay lain mangampon ani, walay lain mukuha ani gikan nimo. Kay ako man ni siya, walay lain mangampon. So mo na siya ang mga warranties ni seller. However, in a contract of agency to sell, the agent makes no warranty for which he assumes personal liability as long as he acts within his authority and in the name of the seller. So, I think obvious naman siguro no kasi agent dili man siya ang tagtiyaan ng property. So dapat wala gyud siya personal liability whatsoever if in case later on ma-find out ni buyer nga uy defective man dai ni imong product nga gibaligya na ko agent. So agent mo claim me sa warranty for this one. So si agent dapat wala siya personal liability. Any liability si seller na ana. Kay dili si agent. As to rights over the property in a contract of sale, the buyer can deal with the thing sold as he pleases because he is the owner. He is now the owner. So upon dawat ni buyer sa kanang property, pwede niya buhaton kung unsa iyang ganahan buhaton. Pwede niya gug-on ang property, pwede niya pabayaan ang property. So bisag unsaon unsay gusto niyang buhaton, iya jung mabuhat ana nga property because he is already the owner of the property. However, in a contract of agency to sell, the agent must act and is bound according to the instructions of his principal. So, dili pwede magbuot-buot si agent. Kung unsa ra ang iyang authority para sa kaninga property, dapat maora ang pwede niyang buhaton over that property. Okay? Okay, so for example, no, sa SPA, nakabutang dito nga si agent is authorized to sell this. Pero ang authority niya is to sell this for cash. Unya later on gibaligyan ni agent sa lain nga tao, pero dili cash gipautang niya. Pwede ba nabuhaton ni agent? Ang gisugo sa principal niya, baligya ni palihog cash. Pero gibaligya ni agent utang, gipautang niya. So that is already ultra vires, right? So dili sakto ang gibuhat ni agent because that is already outside of his authority. So in that case, void ang sale nga gi-enter into by the agent on behalf of the principal. Because that sale was made outside his authority. Okay. So, mo na siya ang ato ang main distinctions between a contract of sale and a contract of agency to sell. Such that if you become a lawyer someday na no, and then you are asked to review a certain contracts, masabtan man sad siguro ninyo if a contract is a contract of sale or a contract of agency to sell. Kaya in a contract of agency to sell, there is this agents nga gisugo ra sa principal. So kumbaga mahitabuan ni mahog na siya og tulo na kabuok persons involved. The seller being the principal, the agent which is the middleman, and the buyer nga gibaligyaan ni agents, right? So tulo na kabuok persons involved. But in a contract of sale, there is no middleman, so the seller and the buyer will deal with each other. Walay agent. Okay. Article 1467. A contract for the delivery at a certain price of an article which the vendor in the ordinary course of his business manufactures or procures for the general market, whether the same is on hand at the time or not, is a contract of sale. But if the goods are to be manufactured specially for the customer and upon his special order and not for the general market, it is a contract for a piece of work. So, ano niya ako gikuan din na piece of work. So here, atong tadawon ha, ingon dinhi ko no. Duha man ni siya ka parts good. Okay? Ang first part ingon dinhi, magtana ko no siya nga thing nga imong gibaligya. You manufacture it or procure it for the general markets. So ang hint na to ani is general markets. So in that case, it is a contract of sale. Okay? If that certain thing nga gi-order daw kuno sa isa ka person, gikan nimo, nga paliton daw niya gikan nimo, kana siya nga butang, imo na siyang himuon para sa tanan, bisan kinsa ang pwede mo palit ana for the general market. That is a contract of sale. However, on the second part of this article, if that certain thing is to be manufactured especially for a customer, wait, especially for the customer, and upon his special order. So as hatong keywords ani is special order na siya, right? In that case, it is a contract for a piece of work. Okay? Kung special order siya, nga dili gyud unta na nimo usually nga ginabuhat no, wala dili nimo siya i-mass produce, that is a contract for a piece of work. Pero kung ordinary lang siya, gi-mass produce na nimo siya and anyone can actually buy it, then the contract entered into by you and that other person is a contract of sale. Now, why do we need to distinguish? Anong kinahanglan man nato siya ingnon nga kani siya contract of sale, kani siya contract for a piece of work? Like what you have seen during our activity a while ago. No? When it comes to the application of the statute of frauds, important siya. Because for a contract of sale, di ba, if the price is at least 500, for the contract to be enforceable, it should be in writing under our statute of frauds. However, if it's a contract for a piece of work, since it is not mentioned under our civil code for statute of frauds, then even though the price is more than 500 or at least 500, it need not be in writing for it to be enforceable. Okay? And that is why we have to know, we have to put a name on it. Is this a contract of sale we are entering into, or is this a contract for a piece of work? Because lahi ang applicable nga rules if it's a contract of sale, lahi sad if it's a contract for a piece of work. Okay. Ang test na to ani, how do we know if it's a contract of sale or a contract of a piece of work? So the test is whether the thing transferred is one not in existence and which never would have existed but for the order of the party desiring to acquire it. So meaning to say, kani ba siya nga butang, ang Bisayaon na to ha? Kani ba siya nga butang? Mo exist ka ni, himuon ka ni nato siya kung dili pa ni gi-order sa kaninga person. So if your answer to this test is no, dili na nato himuon kung wala na siya gi-order gikan nato. So that means that is a contract of a piece of work. But if your answer is yes, meaning bahalag wala pa siya ni order kanang tawhana, bahalag wala pa siya ni order ani nga products, himuon ra man gyapon ni nako nga products. In that case, that is a contract of the sale. It's not anymore a contract of sale. So example, if B is buying a pair of shoes of a particular style and size from S niya gipalit, which the latter, meaning si S, ordinarily manufactures or procures for the general market, but the same is not available. An order for one would be a contract of sale. So bahala ko no og dili pa available kani siya nga products, but the fact remains that this particular style and size of the pair of shoes i-manufacture man gihapon na ni S for the general market. Bahalag as of the moment dili pa siya available. It will still be considered a contract of sale, not a contract of piece of since why? Because that article pasabot ani the products. The product would have existed and been the subject of sale to some other person even if the order had not been given by B. So bahala wala pa unta na ni order si B ana nga particular style and size buhaton ra man gihapon na ni S nga products nga iya ibalik ya sa lain nga mga tao. On the other hand, if B places an order for a pair of shoes of a particular shape because his feet are deformed. So, naadyo siya iyang kaugalingon nga porma sa iyahang tiil. Kay deformed daw kuno iyang tiil. So, the fact that such kind of shoes is not suitable for sale to others in the ordinary course of the seller's business and is to be manufactured especially for B, and upon his special order, this makes the contract one for a piece of work. Nasabtan? Okay. So, kung gihimo gid ni siya para dimo. Okay. Pero ba custom made jud siya. That is a contract for a piece of work. Okay. So again, why do we need to distinguish? The importance of marking the line that divides contracts for a piece of work from contracts of sale arises from the fact that the former is not within the statute of frauds. Pasabot, unsa ning former? Ang katong gauna nga gimension. Piece of work. So a contract of piece of work does not fall under the realm of statute of frauds. But a contract of sale should conform with the rules no sa atoang statute of frauds. Okay, this is a snippet of our statute of frauds, no? Article 1403 of the Civil Code, item number 2, paragraph D, it says here, an agreement for the sale of goods, chattels, or things in action at a price not less than 500 pesos. Kita mo sa wordings sa atong statute of frauds, mag-ingon ba siya din ha og contract of piece of work? Wala, di ba? Ang giingon niya is an agreement for the sale. Meaning to say, this applies only to a contract of sale. This particular provision sa ato ang statute of frauds only applies to a contract of sale. Because it will leave us no doubt no as to its interpretation. Straightforward ra gani pag-ingon din no, an agreement for the sale of goods. So contract of sale ra ang iyang pasabot ani. Okay? So if it's a contract of piece of work, even if the price is not less than 500 pesos, dili siya under sa ato ang statute of frauds. So it need not be written for it to be enforceable. Okay, unsa ganito yung purpose ani statute of frauds? It will require certain contracts to be in writing for its enforceability. Remember sa inyong oblikon. Okay? Article 1468. If the consideration of the contract consists partly in money and partly in another thing, the transaction shall be characterized by the manifest intention of the parties. If such intention does not clearly appear, it shall be considered a barter if the value of the thing given as a part of the consideration exceeds the amount of the money or its equivalent. Otherwise, it is a sale. So this article talks about kung combination ko no sa kwarta ug lain na butang ang gihimo nga consideration for the contracts. So for example, maingon si A na ako'y property. Okay? Then maingon si B, sige, quote unquote, paliton ko na 1 million plus ang ako ang Toyota Vios akong ihatag nimo. So mohatag ko nimo 1 million plus ang ako ang Toyota Vios. So this time, it's not only money ang consideration, but naapay another thing on top of money. So in that case, dapat dili automatic nga mayon ta barter na siya or dili sad ka automatic mayon nga sale na siya. So ingon din si Article 1468 kung mahitabo daw kuno na nga ang consideration na ay kwarta plus na asay another thing, unsa unsa man ang ato ang first rule ana. Tan-aw na to ang manifest intention of the parties. So again, tricky ni siya nga part no kay ngano. Kasagaran magod students magunahuna pa nga. If mas mahal ang katong isa ka butang compared sa kwarta, barter. Pero kung mas dako ang value sa money kaysa sa other butang, sale. Answer is no. Okay? So ang first priority na to when it comes to these kinds of contracts, do not look at the value, but look at the intention of the parties. Regardless of the value, no, ayaw sa i-compare ang money to ang another thing. Okay? Ayaw i-diretso o compare ang value. But rather, regardless of the value, ignore the values first. Our first priority is the intention of the parties. So, bahala nagmasdako ang value sa kwarta over the other thing or the other way around, vice versa. Tanawag yun ang intention of the parties. If they intend to enter into a contract of sale, then that contract is a contract of sale. If they intend to enter into a contract of barter, then it is a barter. Okay? So again, intention. Okay, intention of the now, only when such intention is not apparent, meaning to say, dili ma-determine na to unsay intention jud sa parties. Wala tay any information kung unsa jud ilahang ganahan i-enter into. Then that's the time we look at the values. Okay? That is the only time when we compare money and the other thing. So if such intention does not clearly appear, what is the rule? It shall be considered a barter. Ano sa man siya i-consider as barter? If the value of the thing given as part of the consideration exceeds the amount of the money or its equivalent. So if mas dako daw ang value sa thing kaysa sa kwarta na gihatag, then it is a barter. If it's the other way around, mas dako ang value sa money kaysa sa value of the thing given as part of the consideration, then it is a sale. So again, sa ganito, first, do not look at the values. Look at the intention of the parties. So regardless of the values, look at the intention of the parties. If the intention is not apparent, we cannot see it from the facts, no sa problem. And that's the time we look at the values and compare. Now, compare the value of the thing as part of the consideration versus the amount of money. So if the value of the thing is greater than the money, it is considered a barter. Otherwise, it is a sale. If it's the other way around, then it is sale. It is considered a sale. Okay, this one. Is this a barter or a sale? S, who is a sugar miller, and B, a manufacturer and dealer of whiskey, entered into an agreement whereby S was to deliver sugar worth 20,000 to B, who was to give 100 bottles of whiskey worth also 20,000. A barter or sale?
Sale.
Ha?
Sale.
Sale. Okay, Gabriel said sale. Okay. How about the rest?
Barter, attorney.
So, barter. Barter nga si Mariel to no? Si Mariel. How about si Emerson man to ang top 1 ganihan no? Sige daw, Emerson.
Hello, good evening, attorney. Barter ang ako.
Barter.
Sorry, gawan dire.
Okay. Okay. Barter. So, two of you said barter. Okay. So tanawa ha, unsa man ang gisabutan nila. So in this case, was there a combination of money and another thing? Naabay combination sa money and another thing here?
Bitaw wala.
Wala, attorney.
Wala,
Wala.
attorney.
Nagsabot ra sila nga ingon si SPS, hatagan tika og sugar. Pero kaning sugar worth 20,000 pero sugar gyud iyang ihatag, no? Sugar gyud iyang ihatag. Unya ingon sa si B, sige, iligdawat na ko sa imong sugar, hatagan sa tikag 100 bottles of whiskey. So
barter siya,
the consideration here is purely non-monetary, right? Kay wala may kwarta nga gihatag, correct? Ang ilarang gipanghatag dinhi sa kani pang example is a determinate thing, katong ihang sugar in exchange for whiskey. Correct. So wala pa'y kwarta involved. So this one is a barter. Okay. How about suppose at the date of delivery, di ba kasabot sila no? Sa tong sabot nila, muhatag siya sugar kang B, then si B, muhatag siya og 100 bottles of whiskey. Okay. Suppose at the date of delivery, B had only 25 bottles of whiskey. Pila to ka bottles? 100 man to iyang saan?
100.
But currently 25 ready ang naa niya. So, with the consent of S, ingon si B, nihangyo man siya. Sorry kayo, 25 raman day ka bottles ang naanak ko karon. So, pwede ba nga, ihatag na ko nimo ang kaning 25 bottles. Unya, taga na po di kag 15,000 na cash. Nisugot man si S. Okay? Kaya ingon man siya with the consent of S. Alright, this time, is this a barter or a sale?
Sale, attorney.
sale, attorney.
It is still a barter, attorney.
So Mariel said it is still a kinsa to si istorya. Sorry.
Mariel, attorney.
Ako
Barter.
tutulad yun. Si Mariel. Okay. Mariel said this is still a barter. Okay. How about Laika Vic?
Contract of sale, attorney.
Okay, like I said, it is a contract of sale. How about Joshua?
Okay.
Oh, yes, Joshua. So what's your answer?
Sale ako.
Sale. Okay. So two of you said sale and only one said barter. So in this case, was there already a combination of consideration na anay kwarta, na anasay another thing, correct?
Yes, attorney.
Okay. So unsa to ang giingon sa atong article, wait ha? Article 1468. If it consists partly in money and partly in another thing. Unsa to ang first priority?
Manifest intention.
Intention of the
The
parties.
intention of the parties. So in this case, ignore lang sa ang mga values. Okay? Go back to the intention of the parties. Unsa man gyud ito intention nila pagsugod pa lang gyud mismo?
Barter, attorney.
Barter, correct, no? So barter gyud to ilang intention kay pagsugod pa lang daan ang ilang sabot mag-exchange ra sila sugar o bottles of whiskey. It just so happened na pag the date of the delivery na kuwangan si B 25 ra ang niya. So instead of waiting nga naa siya additional pa nga 75 bottles, nihangyo na lang siya ni S nga. Bayaran na lang ni nako 15,000 ang ako ang deficiency, which is nisugot si S. So in this case, the manifest intention of the parties is that they will enter into a contract of barter. So in this scenario, we will still consider this as a barter. Okay? Ah, okay. Now, wala rin ako nabutang diri. But what if, on the date of the delivery, naingon si B, naagid ko'y 100 bottles. Naagid siya 100 bottles. Or naingon siya nga, S, pwede ba nga 25 na lang ako ihatag ni o niya ang kaning ang kuwang is 15,000, ako na lang ihatag ng 40. So that will change everything. Murag na innovation, right? Kaya himdo mo sa inyo oblikon, no, innovation, change in the objects of the contracts.
Yes,
So in
attorney.
that case, in that scenario, available man unta ang 100 nga bottles ni B. Pero iya man jud gi-specify, giingon man gid niya nga, 25 na lang di ay instead of 100. Okay. So in that case, you can now compare the value of the 25 bottles and the cash given. So in that case, so in that certain scenario, we can see that the money, the value of money is greater than the value of the bottles. And so we can say that it is a contract of sale. All right. Article 1469. In order that the price may be considered certain, it shall be sufficient that it be so with reference to another thing certain, or that the determination thereof be left to the judgment of a special person or persons. Should such person or persons be unable or unwilling to fix it, the contract shall be inefficacious, unless the parties subsequently agree upon the price. Okay, so it goes to one of our essential elements of a contract of sale, which is there should be a price certain in money. Okay? So for a price daw to be certain, pwede na daw kuno nga, imo siyang i-refer to another thing certain. Meaning to say, dili mo masulti nga, 1 million ni siya, 5 million ni siya. Wala mo isulti nga price, pero naa mo isulti kung asa daw ninyo ibase ang price. So with reference to another thing certain. Example, okay? Nakaibaligya nga yuta. Kunya nisugot ang buyer, mapaliton na siya nga yuta. Pero ningon mo nga, ang price ani kay kuan lang, ato lang ibase sa iyang fair market value. Okay. Wala mo gisulti nga amounts. Nisulti ra mo nga ibase siya sa fair market value. Valid ba ang sale? Meaning, zooming into the price, can we consider that the price here is something certain? Bahala ba mo gisulti nga amount? Nisulti ra mo na fair market value. The answer is yes. Because when we speak of fair market value, it is easily determinable and you can refer that to your tax deck. Nakita na mong tax deck? If you will scrutinize your tax declaration, you can see there the fair market value of the property and the assessed value of the property. So, potong nagsabot mo na ang presyo aning imong gibalikya is the fair market value, although you did not say specifically the amount, but you can refer it to a certain thing. So another thing certain, in this case, fair market value as indicated in the tax declaration. Then we can say that the price is certain. Or you can say, okay, atong selling price kay based lang ta sa zonal value sa BIR. Anyway, di ba, ini-compute na sa capital gains tax. Ang tanawang sa BIR is the zonal value or the fair market value or the selling price, whichever is higher. So, nagsabot na lang muna, kuan na lang, to simplify our contract, ato ang selling price is based na lang sa zonal value sa BIR. Okay? Again, in this case, wala mo'y gihisgot na amount. Isulti ra mo nga zonal value. So, is the price here considered certain? Answer is yes. Because you can easily look up the zonal value by the BIR. And there you can compute pila ang price. Okay? Next. If you will not refer it to another thing certain, the determination can also be left to the judgment of a special person or persons. Pwede mo mag-assign someone else to fix the price. For example, mag-contact ba mo o assessor? Okay, si assessor ang mo-assess sa value sa property. Siya ang musulti sa price ani. Okay? Or appraiser. Okay, appraiser. Like for example, no, me and my husband decided to sell our old car and then naman ni Kibaw, pila amo ang i-presyoan. So, amo siyang giadto sa Toyota. Ang niya sa Toyota, naaman di siya appraiser na to. Ang si appraiser, iyang inspection nun ang imuhang car, na may mga damage and all. Sa kahintang sa imong car ba. After 30 minutes, we were able to get the appraisal value of our car. So, kana siya, example na siya nung sa kani akong giingon na, left to the judgments of a special person or persons. So, usually kana siya nga mga persons, katong mga experts, no? Mas makahibaw sila sa jud ang sakto nga presyo ani nga puta. Okay. Should such person or persons be unable or unwilling to fix it, the contract shall be inefficacious. So like for example, you mentioned, uy, ang ato ang presyo ba? No? Seller o buyer nagsabot. Ang presyo na to ani, si kuan lang atong pabuton, si X lang atong pabuton kay mas naswito magud siya ani, no? Mas kasabpas maka-appraise siya kung pila jud actual nga value ani. Okay, mao yung sabot. Unya pag adto ninyo ni X, ningon si X, ha, ganahan akong chill life, no? Ay ko ninyo sampa. Kamo yung pagsabot din ako kung sa inyong ganahan. So, X, no? He is unable or unwilling to fix the price, correct? So what is the effect then? Your contract of sale shall be inefficacious, meaning no effects. It's as if you did not enter into a contract of sale. It shall be inefficacious. Unless, so unsa man atong pure ani, kay ganahan man mga efficacious ato ang sale, no mapadayon ang atong sale, di mo ganahan mahimo siyang inefficacious. So ang atong remedy ana is that you yourselves will agree upon the price. Kamo na mismo, seller and buyer, kamo na magsabot kung unsa inyong ipresyo for your contract of sale to take effect. Okay? Okay. If the third person, continuation pa ni siya, if the third person or persons acted in bad faith or by mistake, the courts may fix the price. So, remember mo ganina sa first paragraph, ingon dito na, pwede daw nimo siya i-leave to the judgment of some other person, no? If that person, wala siya ni-decline, like ganina sa atong example, wala siya ni-decline, pero he or she acted in bad faith or by mistake. So since he or she acted in bad faith or he or she acted by mistake, obviously, ang effect ana is dili mao ang pagkapresyo. Correct? So if dili mao ang pagkapresyo, then we will ask the court to fix the price. Okay? So next paragraph, where such third person or persons are prevented from fixing the price or terms by the fault of the seller or the buyer, the party not in fault may have such remedies against the party in fault as are allowed the seller or the buyer as the case may be. Okay. So, nagsabot mo no kung kinsa ang inyuhang ito-fix sa price. Pero one of the parties, seller or the buyer, prevented that other person from fixing the price. So, pwede nimo kihaon ang faulting party. You can ask for damages from the faulting party. So, you can ask for the rescission later on. You can ask the court to rescind your contracts. Kung may kag-rescind, or pag ipan-nullify ang inyong contract, so rescission plus ask damages pag yun from the faulting party. Okay. If you discover later on na mao din niyang nahitabo, ang isa din ninyo, either seller or the buyer, acted in bad faith. Okay, and prevented that person from fixing a correct price. Okay, example. S sold to be a tobacco and cigarette factory together with the trademark La Maria Cristina. The stocks of tobacco, machinery, labels, wrappers, etc. for a sum subject to modification in accordance with the result shown by the inventory to be drawn up. So, baligya daw niya iyahang factory. O niya, ang presyo daw ko, no, mag-base lang daw ko no, sa inventory to be drawn up. So, i-determine pa daw nila. In this inventory, the value of each individual price of furniture was fixed at 10% below the price in the partnership inventory. So, pag inventory daw ko na nila sa mga butang, mga appeals factory, ang nakita nila, ang ilang na set daw is that all furnitures ko, no, ang value na lang daw ko niya is 10% below the price in the partnership inventory, which is the company. Then, next, aside from the furniture, ila po libutangan og value ang tobacco. So, the value of the tobacco, both in leaf and in process of manufacture, was fixed at the invoice price. Invoice price daw kuno ilahang gamiton for the valuation of the tobacco. Next, the value of tobacco made up into cigars was fixed in accordance with the price list of the company less 20% discounts. So, ang valuation of the cigars daw kuno is in accordance with the price list of the company minus 20% discount. So, under the terms of the agreements, may the price of the property sold be considered certain within the meaning of the law. In other words, is the price of the sale certain based on these facts? Libuga sa facts, ana attorney. Tanawa lang tulo ka buok nga ilahang i-determine nga price. Nga valuations, rather. Ang furniture daw ko no is ila ko nang i-value at 10% below the price sa ilang partnership inventory. Ang tobacco is invoice price. Ang cigars ko na is price list of the company less 20% discounts. Okay, so can we say here that the price is certain? Can we say that the price is certain? Okay, manawag ta kay wala may nito pa. Ninya Jessin.
Yes, attorney.
So, do you think that the price here is certain or not?
I think the price in that example is certain, attorney.
Certain. Why?
Because it can be determined based on the invoice price and the price list of the company.
Okay. So, kuan daw kuno price is certain. Okay, thank you for your answer. I'll call this time John Lawrence. John Lawrence, what is your answer? And I also received here an answer from Erica. She said na yes daw ko no because there is reference to another thing certain. Okay, I'll wait for John Lawrence's answer. In the meantime, let me call another one. Harvin.
Yes, attorney, the price is certain
Why? Why do you say that the price is certain?
because there is in according to the article, that it be so with reference to another certain or that determination, which means that this inventory value in this past shown that there's been a fixed 10% and also in the invoice that they already have a fixed price for it, attorney.
Okay. So, most of your answers, si John Lawrence na naka-answer the dong. John Lawrence. So, most of your
Attorney,
no.
sorry, he cannot open his camera, microphone po. There's something wrong. He
Okay.
messaged
Okay.
his concern on the group chat.
Ay, okay. Sige, thank you. Okay, access pa sa group chat. Anyways, so, daghan ta na trick, ano, no? Because the answer here is the price is not certain. Why? If you look at here, the furniture, kaya lagi ang gisal ba is the entire factory, right? The entire factory. So, sa Souza factory natin mga butang din ha, mo na ilagi inventory. So, furniture, yes, check ta din he. Price certain siya. Because yung mga diri nga, ang iya ko ng value ko no is 10% na daw below the price in the partnership inventory, meaning whatever is recorded in the books of the partnership, 10% of that's ang value sa furniture. However, when it comes to the tobacco, ingon magod siya diri, invoice price. Invoice price is quite arbitrary. Kaya ang invoice, when you say invoice price, this is the price billed to a certain customer. And it's not a fixed price. So how will we know what is the invoice price? Right? So, kani siya ang nakapahimo sa ato ang price na dili siya certain. Because we don't know how much is the invoice price. However, for the cigars, ay naaman tayo price list of the company, less 20% discount. This one is certain. But taken all in all, because para mahibaw-an na to kung pila ang selling price sa factory, we have to add all of them. Kanitanan, nga, i-inventory. So, wala tayong mabutang na presyo sa tobacco because it only says invoice price. And again, invoice price is the price actually billed to a certain customer. So, we don't know, in this case, how much is the invoice price. So, we don't have something to reference it to. Okay? So, the answer here is, it is not certain. Okay, next example. S contracted to sell large quantity of coal to B. The basic price fixed in the contract was 9.45 per long ton, but it was stipulated that the price was subject to modifications in proportion to variations in calories and ash content and not otherwise. Is the price certain within the meaning of the law? Anyone is free to answer. You can also answer through our chat box. Okay, what do you think? So in this case, you can say that the price is certain. Because although it says here, no, na naman siya iingon during a 9.45 kuno, but pwede daw siya i-change in proportion to the variations. So if na yung mga variants, then there will be some adjustments in proportion to those variances. So it can be na ang 9.45 kay makunan in proportion, prorata to the variances. It can be increased or decreased in proportion to the variances. So we can still say that the price is certain in this case. Okay? Okay. X rendered services as wet nurse and governess to Wise infant daughter. When I read this example, but it's actually taken from a book. And then I had to look up, samaning wet nurse, samaning governess. kuan di siya no murag European style. Ang wet nurse di ko no is somewhat like a yaya nga magpadede sa baby. So, yaya nga magpadede sa baby. Mao na ang wet nurse. Meaning, ang mama, ang mama sa bata, dili ang magpadede. Ang yaya mismo ang magpadede. Kana siya nga yaya, obviously, naa siya breast milk, iya ipadede sa infants. Okay, mo na ang wet nurse. And governess is more like a yaya lang gihapon, pero ang iyang focus is to the discipline and upbringing of the child. Na dapat prim and proper siya, educated siya, and all. Okay, so X rendered services as wet nurse and governess to Y's infant daughter. Y promised to compensate X for the services, providing for the maintenance of X, her husband, and her children during all the time that the services were required. Y contends that there was no valid contract. This one is not actually contract of sale, but gidiscuss lang gihapon siya because it goes to the question of whether the price is certain. Okay, so Y contends that there is no valid contract daw kuno because the price was not fixed. So ang question lang nato din is the price certain in this case? Okay, so one can say that the price is still certain because it says here na bayaran daw siya ni Y in the form of all maintenance daw kuno ni X, maintenance sa husband and her children during the time that the services were required. So, tanan jud mga gastuhonon ko ni X, tanan mga gastuhonon ni husband ni X, and all of her children. That value, tanan nga iyahang gastuhonan, mo na siya ang value sa iyahang services. And that we can say that the price is certain. Okay, next, let's move on to the next article. By the way, unsa na oras?
7:06 p.m. attorney.
7:06?
Yes, attorney.
Okay. So gross inadequacy of the price does not affect a contract of sale, except as it may indicate a defect in the consent or that the parties really intended a donation or some other act or contract. So it says here, if kuwang daw kuno kaayo ang presyo, bahalag kuwang kaayo, maning gross inadequacy, kuwang kaayo ang presyo, gi pangayo sa seller, gipangayo sa seller from the buyer. If there is gross inadequacy, by that mere fact alone, it does not affect a contract of sale. For example, no, property nimo is worth 10 million. But because emergency jud kay ganahan kang mabaligya na siya kay gamiton nimo for medication, 10 million ang value sa imong property, pero gibaligya nimo og 500,000. Can you say that there is gross inadequacy of the price? One can say that, right? No, wala, grabe ha, 10 million na property, o niya 500,000 na ang baligya. So there might be gross inadequacy of price in that case. But that fact alone does not affect a contract of sale. When will it affect the contract? It will be considered, no, to have affected the contract if it indicates a defect in the consent. Meaning to say, mao kuno nisugot ang seller na ibaligya siya barato kaayo because of a defect in the consent. Can you still recall the defective consents sa inyong oblikon? When can we say that a consent is defective, vitiated consents?
Through threat or intimidation.
Threat, intimidation, undue influence, right? So meaning if there is presence of any of those circumstances which actually led the seller to agree na ipabuk-an na lang niya ang presyo, mubuk kaayo, gross inadequacy. So in that case, it will affect the contract of sale, right? So the sale will become voidable. Instead of it being valid contract of sale, will be considered as a voidable sale. So, unsa man ang pasabot sa voidable DI? It is valid until annulled. Correct? Sa inyong obliquan. Or, it may also indicate that the parties really intended a donation or some other contracts. Right? So, for example, the value of the property is 10 million and then you only sold it for 500. Bisag pang milk tea na lang tay. O, kuhaan na niya akong property, taga ko 500 na akong ikuha pang milk tea. So, ang kana day, it may indicate nga ang ihag giding intention is really just to donate the property. Correct? So, mana siya ato ang tanawon. But ang mere inadequacy of the price, kana lang jud ang imong tan-aw. It will not affect the contract of sale. Okay? The reason is that a valuable consideration, however small or nominal, if given or stipulated in good faith, is, in the absence of fraud, sufficient. Okay? Kaya nga naman, na may na may freedom ang seller to fix the price. Right? What if you day, ganahan lang ka, kana ang imong selling price, magbuot day mo. Diba? So as long as it is entered in good faith, stipulated in good faith, then it is sufficient. So defective consent, so that the inadequacy of price, however, may indicate a defect in the consent, such as when there is fraud, mistake, or undue influence. So in which case, the contract will be annulled, not because of the inadequacy of the price, but because the consent is vitiated. Clear? So there is a defect in this case, but the defect was not caused by the inadequacy of the price itself, but because of the presence of any of those circumstances that vitiated the consent of the seller. So when you try to nullify, annul rather, when you try to annul a contract of sale, in this case, your ground is not inadequacy of the price. Okay? Your ground is the vitiation of consent that led to the setting of a grossly inadequate price. Follow?
Yes, attorney.
Yes,
So,
attorney.
ang imong ground, dili tungod kay mubo kayo ang presyo. But, ang imong ground is that na ay fraud, mistake, or undue influence, maunang nisugot na lang ang seller nga mubo ang presyo. For example, may ka nga, ibaligyan ni siya, boy seller, ibaligyan ni siya anak ko, 10,000 na lang di, kung dili gani, patyo na ko imong anak. Oh. So, nisugot na lang ang seller, kinahadlok man siya sa imong threats. So, later on, the seller can ask the court to annul your contracts. And the ground is not inadequacy of the price, but the ground is threats. Huh? Threats. Threat that led to the vitiation of your consent. Okay, some other act or contracts. When we can see that the price is so low as to be shocking to the conscience. So keywords here is shocking to the conscience. Mashock daw kuno ang konsensya. Kung magtanaw ka na nga presyo, mashock jud daw ang imong konsensya. So, where the price is so low that a man in his senses and not under delusion would not accept it. Mo na pasabot sa shocking to the conscience. Kung ang isa ko no kataw nga dili dilulo na siya saktong pangisip, di good siya mo dawat anang presyo ka. Di good siya mo sugot anang presyo ka. No? That one is shocking to the conscience. So in that case, the sale may be set aside. So it invalidate ang sale. And the court may declare it to be some other contracts, like an equitable mortgage to secure a loan. Okay? Example. As sold to be with pacto de retro, meaning when we say pacto de retro, right repurchase. A land valued at 260,000 for only 10,000. Okay, so in this case daw kuno, This one daw is shocking to the conscience. Tag 260, gibaligya og 10,000 unya. Plus the facts, it was sold with a right to repurchase. So ang question na ni is, may the contract be construed as an equitable mortgage rather than a sale? So the answer here is yes. Kasi pasabot sa equitable mortgage. So then, hey, kung tanawin mo ang facts, si S seller, si B buyer, right? Ang value ani nga property nga ibaligya unta ni S kang B 260. Pero ang iyang gipabayad kang B only 10,000. So ingon si court, pwede daw kuno na siya i-treat as equitable mortgage. Nga instead of S is treated as a seller, S will be treated as a borrower. Mura kunuhig nangutang ra di ay si S kang B o kwarta. Nangutang si S o from B og 10,000. And then to secure the loan, iyang gihatag ang iyang property as collateral. So in that case, equitable mortgage ra. Dili gid di ay sale ang ilang tuyo, but rather loan din ni nangutang day si S kang B in the amount of 10,000, and then to secure the loan, iyang gihatod kang B or iyang gihatag kang B ang iyahang property by way of collateral. So that is an example of an equitable mortgage. Okay. Okay. Article 1471. If the price is simulated, the sale is void, but the acts may be shown to have been in reality a donation or some other act or contract. So here, the price is simulated. Kasi pasabot sa simulated. Kasi nasabtan ninyo sa word na simulated. Di tinuod. Okay? Dili tinuod. But buhat ra, so tisulti ra, pero wa yun di ay price. So, di tinuod. Although sa inyong contract, nagbutang dit mo price, din na 1 million. Pero wag yun di ay price, nga na, wala yun di ay bayad nga nahitabo. Simulated ra tanan. False. Okay? Does not exist. Then, in that case, the sale is void. Anong void man ang sale? Remember COC, right? So, consent, object, consideration. If ang price is simulated, meaning di siya tinuod, wala gid siya ni-exist. So, it's as if our last letter C sa COC, wala. Diba? CO ra. Walay C. So, kay wala may T, void kay kuwang ang atuang essential elements of a contract of sale. So, the sale is void. And it may be shown to have been in reality a donation. Kaya ingon-ingon mo din ha, nga na presyo. Kunya sa tinuod ay wala kitay presyo nga gibayad. So, kung may presyo nga gibayad, i-donate ra ito. Correct? So, it may be in reality a donation. If the price is simulated or false, such as when the vendor really intended to transfer the thing gratuitously, then the sale is void. But the contract shall be valid as a donation. Ang sale lang void. Pero ang tinuod na contract nga gi-intend nila, which is a donation, that is valid. Okay? Okay. As sold to be a parcel of land worth 500,000 for only 300,000. This is considered a contract of sale, and that sale is valid, although the price is grossly inadequate. However, if it is shown that B induced S to sell the land through fraud, mistake, or undue influence, the contracts may be annulled on that ground, because in that case, there is already a vitiation of consent. However, pag yun, if you change the facts, if the price is simulated, ingon-ingon kunuhay mo nga na selling price per DTI tinuod, B may prove another consideration like the liberality of S. And if such liberality is proved, then the contract is valid as a donation. I think this is already clear. No need for us to expound this one further. Okay, next, Article 1472. The price of securities, grain, liquids, and other things shall also be considered certain when the price fixed is that which the thing sold would have been on a definite day, or in a particular exchange or market, or when an amount is fixed above or below the price on such day, or in such exchange or market, provided the said amount to be certain. So what are these things, Di? Securities, grain, liquids. So yung tawag na to, ano nila? If you can still recall, starts with letter F. Two words. The first word starts with letter F and ends with letter E.
Future goods, attorney.
Future goods.
Fungible.
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 Fungible. So for these fungible goods, pwede daw na to, we can still say that the price is certain if ato siyang i-refer into a particular fixed price on a definite day or on a particular exchange or markets. Like for example, unsa may ano siya? Unsa ang usual price sa ganador anang adlaw? Unsa usual price sa coconut oil anang adlaw? So pwede na ko no. For particular exchange, like for example, when we speak of securities, diba? Especially if those securities are traded in a local stock exchange, then you can see the prices there, right? Sa ato ang local stock exchange, no? Or like ato ang PSE. You can refer kung pila ang closing price dito sa kana nga security. Okay? So we can still say no kuno that the price is certain. Next article, Article 1473. The fixing of the price can never be left to the discretion of one of the contracting parties. However, if the price fixed by one of the parties is accepted by the other, the sale is perfected. So in other words, question, pwede ra ba either si seller or si buyer ang magbuot sa price? Based on this article. Pwede ra ba unilaterally na si seller or si buyer ang mo-fix sa price? Answer is no. Okay? It can never be left to the discretion of one of the contracting parties. But can it be left to the discretion of another person, like a third person? Yes, like what we have discussed a while ago. No, you can leave the determination to the judgment of any other person. But dili pwede nga i-leave the kunimo to the discretion of one of the contracting parties. However, if one of the contracting parties was the one who fixed the price, let's say si seller ang fixed the price, and if that price was later on accepted by the other person, then the sale is perfected because in that case, there is already meeting of the minds. Okay? So, para na ko nung kay wala ni gamit no article. So, because in reality, it is the seller who fixes the price. Correct? And then it will be up to the buyer if yan i-accept or not. So, if dili niya i-accept, then the buyer makes a counter offer. And then it's up to the seller if he or she will accept the counter offer or not. So there will be an exchange of negotiations, no? Hangyo dire, hangyo hangtod maabot sila sa presyo, agree na silang duha. So in that case, the sale is already perfect. Where the price cannot be determined in accordance with the preceding articles or any other manner, the contract is inefficacious. So katong tanan-tanan nga itong hisgutan so far on how to fix the price. If dili jud kuno ma-determine ang price in accordance with any of those articles, then your contract of sale is inefficacious, meaning it does not have any effects if dili jud ma-determine ang inyong price. However, if the thing or any part thereof has been delivered to and appropriated by the buyer, he must pay a reasonable price therefore. So, general rule, if diligent mo fix ang price, the contract is inefficacious. But this first sentence only refers to executory contracts. Kung sa'yo pasabot sa executory contracts, anang wa pag yun na execute, wala pag yun nabuhat ba, igo pa sabot-sabot. Pero if naanay na deliver, no? If any part thereof has been delivered and appropriated by the buyer. So, na-deliver na daw kang buyer ug nagamit na sad sa buyer. So, ang sa man ang buhaton, the buyer shall pay a reasonable price therefore. What is a reasonable price is a question of facts dependent on the circumstances of each particular case. So, if nanay na-deliver o nanay nagamit si buyer, kailangan mo pay siya og reasonable price. This is in relation to your oblicon nga concept na solusyo indebenti. Remember mo na no one shall be unjustly enriched at the expense of another. So, dili pwede moingon ka nga inefficacious nga wala tay buhaton. Because if there is already delivery and the thing has already been appropriated by the buyer, for example, no, consumable siya nga goods na gikaon na sa buyer. Di man pwede isuka ni buyer no kay oy, contract is inefficacious kay wala man data nagkasabot sa price. Contract is inefficacious. Void ang contract. Di man pwede iluwa ni buyer no ang iyang gikaon. Nakaon naman daw kuno niya. So the buyer shall pay a reasonable price. Para walay ma-unjustly enriched at the expense of another. Okay? Just remember your solusyo indebenti. So, unsa man ang reasonable price? Reasonable price is the market price at the time and place fixed by the contract or by law for the delivery of the goods. So, it's like the market value. So, it's like the reasonable sum which the property would bring on a fair sale by a man willing but not obliged to sell to a man willing but not obliged to buy. So, kumbaga kung sa accounting pa ni, arm's length lang ang transaction. Okay? So, let's end there na lang sa. Okay? So, continue lang ta next meeting. And then, on September 13, so September 6 pa man ang next natin. So, September 6, magklase sa ta. September 13, I may not be able to hold a class because I'll be flying to Tacloban because my husband will take the bar exam. So I want to be there sa iyahang last day sa bar. So I'm not sure yet if I can leave an activity or ganahan ba mo muna mo yung activity or mag-bar ops busy mo sa bar ops. So sabot lang yata kung unsay buhaton nato ni September 13. But September 6, magklase lang gihapon na. Okay? Sige. So,
Okay, attorney.
thank you everyone
Thank
for attending the class and for participating sa atong activity.
Thank
And
you.
I will see
Thank you,
all-
attorney.
Thank you, attorney.
Yeah, attorney.
Thank you, attorney.
Attorney. Thank you, attorney. Attorney.
Attorney.